Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. So, yeah, I've been feeling drawn to do like a reading. I got some spirit messages right before I came to do the reading, and there's a lot of like epiphanies. I feel like a lot of epiphanies coming up. Things that like you probably haven't thought about, not necessarily even trauma related stuff, like things you haven't thought about for a while, things that relate to closing chapters in your life and cycles that you might not have even known you were in, things related to like your passion and your purpose. And for the people who are in like my kind of group that are opening up and getting more awareness to what they're going to be doing as far as their business or kind of side projects, if you're doing like a spiritual like soul path purpose like on the side, and it's not gonna be your primary occupation or whatever, just different things like that, which probably will end up turning into a full-time business. But a lot of people who are like leaving their jobs and shifting out of positions where they're like, no, it's not right for them. They've been knowing for a little while and they're just preparing for it. So I was getting that for a lot of people. I forgot if I said in a reading or I was talking to somebody specifically, but I was getting for a lot of people, those changes were going to take place at the end of this year or beginning of next year for most people. So you might still be getting like little bits of clarity on it, what it looks like, kind of what changes you need to make, or kind of just mentally preparing like the human part with the information and knowledge. The soul already knows what to do, but like the information and knowledge, so you can feel like calm and you have all the information you need, you kind of know what you need to do, stuff like that. It's not just for that, Spirit's saying, for business. It's also for relationships and things that you guys have been healing and preparing for years. So a lot of those things are going to be like blooming. Like you're going to start seeing them blooming. You're going to start seeing those things kind of manifesting outwardly. And as you're healing certain things, you're seeing things at a higher level. So as you're able to see like deeper issues, and not even just deeper issues, like things that seem to be small from the more recent past or the past from like youth, young childhood, stuff like that, teenage years, especially young adult years, how they're all interconnected in like the web, like all of those things. You're going to start seeing the patterns and like all the pieces of the puzzle are being kind of put together now. Like you're starting to understand the bigger picture. You're starting to see things a little bit more clearly. It might be a bigger picture than you realize, but you're starting to get like the understanding of why certain things happen. You're starting to, like I said, seeing things that you probably didn't even realize were issues, or things that you completely repressed, things you forgot about, or things that you just didn't have an understanding to. You're kind of starting to see it now. And whatever it is for you specifically, it has to do with your own healing journey and how you're going to manifest what you want and part of your own soul purpose here, whether it's for your individual learning or for you to help other people. So it's really cool. Planning in action. Damn, this card, I don't know what it is, flew out. Family, friends, and guides. It's like popping. And then these two cards flew out. Transformation behind a mask. And I want to get one more for the bottom for some reason. Oh, I guess we're getting two more. Conflict and present power. Okay, we're doing it like that. That's weird. I haven't done cards like this in forever. I always tell people, I love how I said the pieces of the puzzle. We got the puzzle pieces. Yeah, I haven't done, I'm sure there's a reason they had me, well, obviously there's a reason they had me do this, but yeah, I haven't done like the spreads like that. I used to do them so different. Like now that I just thought about it, I used to do things a lot different when I used to pull cards. I just intuitively pull them. I don't try to do spreads or anything. I just kind of feel into how many I need or what I need, and then, or I ask them if I'm not sure. Okay, 33 might be significant for some of you guys too. Sixes might also be showing up for you guys as well. So especially if you watch this message, you watch this reading, and then you're seeing a lot of like 33 or individual sixes. I just heard a weird noise. I was trying to hear what the hell, or see what it was. With the fragmented energy, especially for the energy sensitive people, the energy sensitive people, or the people who are probably in their masculine energy, either the divine masculine or people who are more in their masculine healing energy right now, you might be feeling a lot of chaotic energy. It started, when I noticed it, it actually started September 11th. I noticed like there was a weird shift. Everything feels like odd right now. Like you probably, if you're in this energy, you probably don't fully feel like yourself. You'll have little bits and pieces where you'll have intuition at the right time and then it will go away. You'll feel just like weird, like confused. Your sleep is going to be like changing, where you're going to have vivid dreams to like, and sleeping a lot, to almost not being able to sleep until certain times, or then going into really deep sleeps, and like just the sleep patterns are changing, your outward behaviors are changing, your relationships with other people and the way you're perceiving things are changing. And then like also the physical energy that you're feeling, your eating habits might be changing, stuff like that. And I've noticed it started literally, for me, I noticed it started September 11th. And I think I only noticed that because Spirit had told me that date and I kept on seeing it like over and over and over. So I was like really paying attention, not really paying attention, but I was more aware that day. And I realized like that's actually when stuff started. I didn't realize it until days later, because I was talking to somebody and she had said, did something happen on September 11th? Because I remember you saying something about it being a date, because I kept on seeing the number. And then I was talking about something else, and I actually, funny enough, I went to go record a video to myself, and I was talking about something, and I was like just processing it, and I don't remember if I was angry or what it was, and I started recording a video like this to me and video journaling, and then I started saying about this Monday, this happened with this and this and this and this. And then I was like, wait, what the fuck was that date? And then I look and I'm like, motherfucker, that was September 11th. So I didn't even, it took me like probably a few days to a week to even connect what actually happened that day. But I did notice like there were a lot of weird energy changes, and almost like this like tunnel energy, like almost like your energy is like almost in this like tunnel. I don't know how else to explain it. It's almost like in this tunnel, and it might feel like very heavy, chaotic, almost pressure, probably I should say is a better word, pressure. So you definitely might be feeling the physical and emotional pressure of stuff right now too. But you'll notice how like you'll feel it and then it will go away. You'll feel it will go away. Spirit's also saying a lot of like deeper fears, or just like subconscious fears are coming up, or ones that you've kind of picked up on, like collective energy fears might be coming up too, and bringing certain things up that you didn't realize you were afraid of, or things that in the past you used to be afraid of, to help you kind of see them and bring awareness to them. Okay. Wait, are we doing that last? Okay. Guess we're doing it like this. We got conflict and present power. We're doing it in the groups of two, I guess. This feels relational. So this is going to be a relationship with you and somebody else. It can be more than one, but this is what I'm getting. Relational is a specific word that I'm getting. Is you or another person. So I'm just going to say it, however. It feels like one of you feels like they're always the one that's like having to stay strong, having to maintain relationships, having to like fix things, always having to create safety and take care of things and build everything and do everything. And it feels like the other person just kind of stands there and receives. The other person really isn't putting in the work. It feels like one person is putting in much more work than the other person, and the other person's just like receiving it. They're not really stepping up. They're not really doing anything. It feels like they're just like, yeah, that's fine. Just give it to me. Yeah, that's fine. Just give it to me. Almost for some of them feels like they deserve it. Like they just deserve to be treated in that way. For some of them, it's almost this struggle, and I'm seeing like a masculine with a mother. So it could be, we'll call it energy, but it definitely looks like a male, where it's almost like they don't feel like they're entitled to it or owed it. It's almost like they feel frozen. Like their mother might have been very overpowering. Their mother might not have let them actually make decisions or handle things. If, you know, like as a kid, they went to go clean something up or do something, their mom might have had like OCD and was like, no, don't do this. No, don't do this. So as a child, it made them feel very disempowered. It made them feel like this struggle that they can't do anything right. It made them feel this struggle to kind of like repress certain parts of themselves because they felt like they couldn't ever do anything right. Nothing they did was good enough, or they just felt like it wasn't their job duty. Like for some reason, like their mom overtook these things. So like the masculine might have went into wounded feminine energy in their relationships because, they learn like the woman is supposed to be in charge, the woman wants to be in charge, the woman this, but they've always felt this struggle because like they've always wanted to be the leader. They've always wanted to be the one that actually like takes charge and does things. So it might have manifested in their relationships in a way like where they're controlling or they're manipulative or like all of these things, but also where they're really complacent and they're not actually putting the energy and effort in. So it seems like it is like this distorted wounded feminine energy. So I definitely get that there's awareness coming to this. If you're in this situation or you are this person, either end, like there's awareness coming. For the person that feels like they're always the one doing everything, like Spirit is saying for you to really communicate your feelings and set boundaries. Stop. You have to, okay. Whew. You have to change your perception, and you have to also know that you're deserving and worthy of receiving help and partnership. And so one of the messages I would say for that person is to stop doing everything. You can communicate it to the other person, stop doing everything, and like kind of just letting things like see what happens. If it falls apart, then it's supposed to fall apart. Or for the other person, possibly the masculine, for them to actually go, you know what, this person's been doing all this work. Like, even if I'm afraid or even if I'm having these other things kind of going on, I really need to step forward. Like, this is really imbalanced and this really isn't fair to that person. And it feels like the one person is feeling this like unseen and unheard, unappreciated, and the other person's really just not communicating and showing up. So it takes both people to balance things. It takes the person who's an overgiver or overdoing to stop overgiving and overdoing, and to take a step back and communicate their needs and to get into the energy where they are deserving, and the other person to look at how they're putting all that responsibility and weight on the other person, and for them to take a step and go, you know what, like I need to actually step up. Like it almost feels like they're scared to step into their power. Like they're scared to actually be the person that they want to be, because they've been like pushed away from being that person from like a young child is what it feels like. Like definitely 5 to 7 is the age range I'm getting, like where it feels really strong. Okay, so we got transformation and behind a mask. What's interesting with these cards, it almost feels like things went backwards, like almost like, and for some of you, this might be the feminine, but it might not just be the divine feminine. It might just be feminine energy also, but it feels very specifically a message for most of the divine feminines, where almost like you felt like really empowered. You felt like your strongest. You felt like you had went through this journey and you like had transformed, and it almost feels like things have rewound on you. Like you've went like, it's like rewinding backwards. And it's almost like now you can't see things the way you used to. Now you can't feel things the way you used to. Now you can't see things clearly. Yeah? Okay, hold on. I was going to say, here's what's going on. And then like, I kind of just got like halted for a sec, and I'm not totally sure why. What's going on with this is, and this should be validation if this is you. What's going on with you is that it's not that your gifts were taken. It's not all of those things. It's because basically what happened was you got the intuition, you got the information, you got everything that you needed at that time to get you to that level. And when you went backwards, now it's like the same situations from the past you're presenting to you, whether the same or mirrored similar situations. And now without the information or knowledge of the present moment, you're making different choices. You're making different decisions. And that's because you already got to a higher level. And because you don't need that intuition. You don't need that knowing, because you're actually in an empowered place internally that you actually can look at the situation for the present moment for what it is and make the best decisions for you. So you're like the feminines feel like they're purposely being blocked from seeing certain things or certain patterns other than like need to know information, because they're supposed to be they have gotten to a place of understanding within themselves of what they deserve. And so when something is going on, they know that this is not okay and they know how to handle it because of the past. So it's almost like you're rewriting things as these mirrored situations are coming up. They're, without you knowing the future, they're triggering all of those past times that relate to that situation. And then after you heal that, you get the epiphany or the clarity or the information or the energy and understanding what that was or how it related to all the other stuff, like that interconnected web to all that other stuff. For a lot of you, that has to do with part of your purpose, part of you being here, part of your deeper soul lessons, but also what's going to open up for you and expand for you. That also could be the divine masculines feeling some of this energy. You might be feeling your divine feminine's energy, or it could be your own feminine energy within that's helping you connect all the dots and the information and stuff. With this planning and action, family, friends, and guides. So this feels like something's moving forward. It's like all of these like pieces of the puzzle are needing to connect. Like you're needing to have like a clear path, and you've been kind of getting that. Like that's part of the preparation process. As you're releasing and healing certain dynamics, you're also preparing for other ones for the future, and you've already been doing this. It might not have come full circle for you to be able to see this, but that is what's going on. Like Spirit's just saying, don't lose like hope and doubt just because things haven't happened right away. And I'm going to tell you this from personal experience. This is definitely, I know, a soul lesson for me, and I've been really trying. So I'm the type of person, like when I have an idea about something or I want something, like, let's go. And it's not an impulse energy. It's not anything like that. It's like me kind of looking at what I'm seeing right now and going, you know what, this is actually a really good idea. I want to do it. And I've had to learn over the last few years, really a little bit longer than that, because I just realized something earlier that relates to the patience thing. But actively awareness, really, I would say the last year or two, having to slow down with things and having to take that space and understand why the rush, and like realizing that I don't have all of the information, and that some of that rushing was fear-based. Some of it is also excitement, like a little kid who's like excited to do something and they're like, they can't wait to do it. They know it's gonna be great and all that stuff. But you also have the foundation to make sure that's great, right? So like, I know for me, I've been learning a lot of patience and to trust the process. And I've gotten to this place now where I really did surrender and just flow. I still flow with everything, like everything. Where if it's not happening now, I have a deeper understanding that it's not meant to happen right now. Like it will happen at the right time, at the right place, like with the right people, the right situations, everything involved. So if it's not here right now, it means I'm not ready for it, or it's not ready, probably both. And that I don't need the information to feel safe anymore. Like I don't need all of that to feel safe in the present moment. I only need the information to feel safe when I'm about to do whatever I'm going to do. Like whatever new stuff is coming in, that's the only time I actually need it, so I know what to do. You know what I mean? So it's not like in the past where I constantly needed that information and validation. But anyway, that's kind of what this is talking about, that like, don't lose hope and stuff and like lose faith and stuff just because it hasn't happened. Like some things just take longer to plan. Some things take longer to happen, and some of them just have bigger purposes, and that's why. And it can be frustrating. It could be hard sometimes. You might go from like surrendering and trusting, it's gonna be great to kind of feeling like hopeless, like, damn, it's been so long. Like, are you sure it's going to come? And the doubt starts kicking in and all the fears and then all the conditioning you've learned of why it might not happen or why you feel like you're fucking crazy for thinking something that hasn't transpired, you know, outwardly yet. Or then you have people who are like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I haven't seen that. I haven't felt that. And it's just like, yeah, and that's what they're saying is like some of those people are going to be your biggest triggers, but some of those people are also going to be the people that are going to help you to have that stability and to learn and grow through. So whatever relationship issues or not relationship challenges and or positive changes in your relationships are all helping you with whatever this bigger goal is. Even if you don't know that, like they're all helping you in some way. Okay. I'm going to leave that open to interpretation. I was going to give you an example and I'm not going to. I'm going to leave that shit open to interpretation. But whatever you are going through has a bigger purpose. So if you want to try to understand it, you can always look at the similarities of what it is or underlying themes of stuff. And you can usually figure it out somewhat if you really are curious and want to know. Okay. What other messages? Present energy. Root chakra. Well, it says base, but it's root. Okay. You want to take that one or no? Okay. Okay, sorry, they're giving me messages. I feel like sometimes I zone out for long periods of time. I don't think it's as long as it seems like whatever. It feels like minutes to me sometimes, and I think it's actually in reality seconds, but they're like giving me stuff and then it's just like for me to repeat it. So this, what I got with when I looked at the destiny card, what I got is like your destiny is being fulfilled. Like whatever has been promised to you or whatever you've really had a bigger dream of, especially probably since your childhood, is going to manifest or come to fruition in some way, in the best way possible. So sometimes you might dream it or look at it a certain way, but it's always going to be that or better. Always. I got with this heartache and loss. This is the card underneath it. It just feels like all of the, grieving. It feels like a lot of fucking grieving, a lot of anger, a lot of grieving, and a lot of repressed emotions, specifically related to heart-centered themes in your life and things that you've wanted. This can be bigger purposes. This could be creativity, passions. This could be especially relationships. I feel like keeps coming up a lot, but like businesses, dreams, relationships, and really grieving the time that you spent running away from this, really grieving the time you spent in conditioning or you spent in avoiding this or pushing this away or not believing yourself or not having faith in it. Like whatever, that's just examples. It obviously can be any or all of those or more than that. But that's really what it is. And kind of what I'm getting is it's grieve it, like feel those feelings and emotions, but also realize that even you pushing those things away had a bigger purpose. And I feel like I keep giving this message a lot, and I feel like I need to say it again, which is when you want something to grow, it has to be met with resistance in order to grow. So think about like how many times that you resisted what you wanted. That was purposeful to part of your path for you to overcome and work through and transmute things. And that also helps you to grow more stable, helps you to actually feel the big difference and the contrast between the past and the shit you don't want with the stuff that you do want. And it helps you in multiple levels. Like everything's very layered. It's like it's one thing and then next week it's something else and then next week it's something else, but they're all interconnected and related. So it's the same thing with those past behaviors or those past feelings or relationships or jobs or whatever it is. Like all of those things that you've worked through, it could be at a soul level for you to heal some stuff. It could be at a human/soul level for you to change perceptions and conditioning. So moving forward, you can live in a better way, but also you can help heal collective dynamics. It could also be because you're needing to grow have resistance and grow strength in a certain like area or a certain belief system for, again, your own soul lesson, or for you to talk to other people about it and say, this is where I was and look at where I'm at today, which helps inspire people. If you ever notice when you hear about somebody inspirational, it's always they went through hell, they got knocked down, it made me want to say got knocked down, but I got up again, the song. But like when they get knocked down a bunch of times, or they start something at like an age, like when they're in their fucking 40s or 50s and they start going to college, or they open their first business, or they've had 10 businesses that, I don't want to say fail because I hate that word and I don't agree with that. 10 businesses that didn't work out the way they had intended it to work out, but worked out the way it was supposed to. And then they're like, I'm not going to give up. And then they do it. And then they grow. And like, you know, look at Amazon. Like that was like something I think they said started in a garage. Like, look at all those things. All of those things are what gives other people inspiration, because it wasn't just handed to them. They had to work for it, and that they got met with adversity and conflict and all this shit and all these challenges, and they overcame them. And that energy is so powerful and is so strong. And that's why people are so magnetically drawn to it and attracted to it. So for your own journey, like, you don't know the different layers of what you're healing at a soul level, at a human level, to make you have a better life. And then how that's going to affect other people collectively when you're transmitting the energy, but also part of your bigger path when you're talking to people or you're helping people in certain ways, and for you to show them, this is what I experienced in life, and to help them actually work through it. So, and sometimes it's even bigger than that, but I feel like that's where we're at right now. So like, you don't even understand that. So don't be mad at yourself to be like, oh my God, I fucking did all this shit wrong and I shouldn't have. You did exactly what you're supposed to do. If you weren't supposed to do it, Spirit would have blocked your ass. Like I promise you, if you're ignoring them and it is something that interferes with your soul path, you will get blocked, or you will get met with a very strong challenge of some way that will not make you want to do that. Okay. So if it flowed through, you were supposed to, like, I promise you. And, I don't know why this example came in my head, but I'll give it. So I want to say it, but then I'm like, I don't know if I really want to say that. I'll give you one example. So there was somebody that I met, that I was in a relationship with for a while. And when I first hung out with him, I was like, red flags like a motherfucker. And I knew all of that. Like, I knew it from the beginning. And knowing what I know now, would I change it? No, I wouldn't, because it literally made me hit rock bottom. It broke me down at my core of who I was. It made me question everything that I was, just the way I did things, the way I saw things, the way I related to people, just everything. It broke down every single fucking part of who I was, and not in a good way. And also so many good things came out of it. And I would still absolutely do it again, because the purpose of how it helped me and how it relates to other people and other things that came out of it, it needed to happen that way. And I always knew that. I always knew it was never going to be a long-term thing. I always knew that it was not going to be something that lasts. I knew that a long ass time ago. And I knew that there was a reason I was being drawn into it. And I definitely wouldn't. The only difference I would make going back is learning my lessons a lot quicker and handling them different. That's it. I would handle situations different, and I wouldn't lose myself in it, and I would have stood up for myself. That's the only difference. But I still would have went back, would not now. Back, if time went backwards and like I had that choice to do this again or not, I would, just because it was necessary for my life and other people that were involved because of that relationship. So anyway, all of it had its purpose, guys. Root chakra, universe, patience. That I feel like is definitely a theme. Okay, so with the root chakra, and the universe card together, what I'm getting is the energy that's kind of flowing right now is to help you releasing fears or blockages specifically related to safety and stability fear related to, obviously, but safety and stability. So any fears that you have standing in the way, any blockages you have standing in the way, any perception changes you have. For some of you, if this is really strong and you're releasing a lot, it's not just awareness and understanding, it's actual releasing. You might end up having pain in your lower back. You might be feeling almost like a pulsating pain, a throbbing pain, or just like a pressure pain, like your lower like back area, like where your root chakra is, and it might expand a little bit. Also, I notice like a lot of times people have like digestive issues when their root chakra is blocked, like diarrhea or constipation is definitely related to like the flowing of it. So it's not necessarily like taking herbs and supplements or changing your food. It's going, okay, there's a problem in my energy flow, my root chakra. Let me kind of go into it. And Spirit's saying like now is like the opportune time for you guys to like really go within and dive deeper into areas where you don't feel stable, you don't feel secure. And this can relate to any and everything with who you are as a person, your idea of who you should be or what your life should look like just outward relationships, jobs, businesses, passion, dreams, anything related to this. Deeper issues. So now is like the time to go in it. With the Patience card, it feels like Spirit already kind of planted that seed of hope in you within the last few years of something that you're really wanting and showed you it's possible. And so in order for this to open up and to be possible, you have to release the things that are blocking it. You have to not only release the things that are blocking it and the thoughts and perceptions, but your behaviors need to change to actually allow it in. So not running away or chasing is just a really easy way to say that. Not chasing something is, or not running away from something, is sitting present, sitting in your power, standing, sitting, whatever one we're more comfortable with. I like to sit, sitting in your power, and staying in your power, staying in alignment with your energy and allowing it to come in. So some of you is taking a step back, some of you is taking a step forward. Page of Michael. An exciting new challenge. You have what it takes to succeed. At the top, it says truthful, perceptive, analytical, and blunt. With Two of Michael, it will be better if you just make a decision over analyzing a problem, find a compromise. Interesting. Archangel Michael is up in here, which he's actually like the archangel of protection. So it's interesting that he showed up. Oh, my favorite king. And look at that. We got them queen on the bottom too. Holy shit. With the King of Raphael. Look at that, guys. Hold on. Okay. This feels like present. This feels like future. So, Queen of Ariel, nurture yourself and those you love, the ability to make anything more beautiful, practical and wise advice. And then we got, which is mature, practical, generous, and happy. And the King of Ariel is successful, stable, accomplished, and powerful. Your plans are working out well, professional and financial success, using resources wisely. So interesting. Hold on, I want to do these first. With the Page of Michael and Two of Michael, you see how stormy this shit is and then how it clears and things just calm down, they flow, things get brighter. With the Page of Michael, kind of what I'm getting is you guys need to see reality for what it is and stop trying to look at things through the trauma lens of what you want to. It's like, stop lying to yourself or trying to tell yourself something some way because you're trying to avoid the truth. Like, whether good or bad, like you're trying to avoid the truth in some way. Be honest with yourself and stop doing that. Like, even when Spirit's giving you a message, stop sitting there and fucking saying it's not a damn Spirit message. Like, you can tell the difference. You can feel the difference. And it's not like the uncertain ones, because sometimes that does happen where you're not really sure. But it's like Spirit will give you like a direct download. They'll give you a vision. They'll give you something that's just like I want to say too legit to quit. They give you something that's just like legit as fuck. And it's like you're sitting here and you're like trying to like lie to yourself because it's not feeding your ego bullshit for some reason. Stop. Like, just stop with the bullshit. This Two of Michael feels like inner conflict with yourself. It feels like you go back and forth within your own mind of what do I want? What do I not? And then it's like you'll move forward towards something you want and then you run away. You move forward and then you run away. Whether that's in the physical or emotionally, you're doing that. So try to figure out why you're doing that. Try to figure out like, and I feel like that message came up like a year ago or something. Try to figure out why you keep going back and forth. Like, hi, Lily. Like, what is it that you actually want? Do you actually want what 444? Do you actually want it or do you not? If you want it, what's the apprehension with moving forward and staying forward? If you don't want it, then why do you keep going into it? If you keep moving backwards, then ask yourself, why do you keep running? Like, what's going on? But like, this just feels like a lot of inner conflict. And for some of you, it feels like an inner conflict of like your human energy and your soul energy, almost like your soul or your intuition or something. Hi. Is like guiding you in one way, and it's like you're not used to that way. It feels like this like discomfort of the unknown, or you're not used to thinking in this way or behaving in this way or having these feelings or emotions. So then it's like you kind of throw a wall up, or you try to tell yourself like this isn't possible, or this isn't real, or this can't happen, or whatever doubts you keep feeding. But it also relates to some of you guys, like your self-worth, your self-esteem, yourself, the way you see yourself, things related to you, and also things also connected to and related to trauma, the way you learned how to see yourself and how to perceive yourself. But at the age that you learned it, you weren't emotionally mature enough to realize that it wasn't on you. It was on your parents just being immature or being abusive or being like emotionally unavailable, or your parents just not having emotional maturity or awareness to things. And so like as a child, for some of you, most of us, I think, have experienced this, where we took things personal, like there was something wrong with us, or we needed to change who we were so we couldn't live in our truth of what we wanted, or couldn't say what we wanted, or be who we wanted to, or feel the way we wanted to feel because we were told it was wrong, or we were made to feel like it was a problem, or we got negative like repercussions, like we were ignored or like yelled at or whatever it was. So that feels like present energy, past present energy. This is future energy. And this is just shit balancing the fuck out. This is just all of those things that you're wanting to come in are going to come in a practical, stable way, but in a way that is so magical and beautiful, in a way that you can just feel at peace. And you know that this is something that's like everlasting and something that you've really just dreamed of. It feels like a bigger like dream of yours actually coming true, and you seeing how like all the hard work and all of the things that you've went through has brought you to this moment to actually be open to receiving it and actually be able to be at peace with life and just enjoy life. And I think I said this in a reading a few months ago. I got this message from Spirit that some of the light workers that came here to bring about big changes, we experienced a lot of trauma. We experienced a lot of heaviness and things in our early years, and, you know, up until probably a few years ago, maybe even throughout the last few years. And it's not to say you won't have challenges and other things coming up, but you're not going to be learning all those soul lessons. You learned a lot of them in the beginning, and you got all the kind of negative reinforcement and bad shit in the, I don't want to say bad because it's purposeful and intentional too, but all of this shit we don't like, we got in the beginning of life, so we can actually have the dream we want, so we can overcome that and shift our lives. And then we're going to also inspire other people to do the same, because we're living in our power and we're living in our soul truth. It just feels like this very good energy, like where it feels like you're feeling confident, you're feeling good about life, you're feeling like just finally at peace and fucking happy with yourself and your life. And I just want to say, I love King of Ariel. He is my favorite fucking king in the whole deck, man. Not even is he just my favorite king in the whole deck, like he's the only one that I just like vibe with. But these are actually the Ariel suit is actually earth sign and is actually grounded practical things. And then that's Taurus, which, you know, I vibe with Tauruses. So we're supposed to be like the bankers of the group, or the fucking moms and dads and the leaders and shit, which I'm like, I mean, whatever. I went to therapy like a few years ago, not a few years ago, when I was going through my divorce. So like 5 years ago. was going a little bit longer than that because it went before my divorce. And I remember my therapist and I were talking about something. I said, I always feel like I'm the mom of the group and I always feel like blah, blah, whatever. And I started saying some shit. He's like, well, it's necessary, like, for somebody to be, and I forgot what he said. It just popped in my head. Forgot what he said, but I've totally embraced that now that I've gotten older. I'm like, that's fine. I'm like, I can be the teenager that's just like dumb as fuck. I don't make dumb decisions, but like, that's just like dumb, like just childlike. I shouldn't say dumb, childlike. But then I'm like, yeah, I can be the mom. That's fine. I was actually thinking about that. I'm like, I kind of want to like teach, I kind of want to teach like, well, obviously I've talked about doing the mentoring stuff with my new business and, everything I'm going to do, but, like even like just helping them with like cooking and like life skills and just things that like their people who don't have like parents to teach them stuff like that and kind of mothering them, which I feel like I've been like that with everybody my whole life. So yeah. All right. We got intuition with happiness on the bottom. And divine timing with fears. I feel like that's like literally the messages of the fucking reading. Intuition, happiness, divine timing, fears. Passion was underneath that, which I feel like I've said a million times too. I more so just get like, it's pretty literal, like just trusting the timing of stuff. Like, just allow things to flow and you're going to feel better, and trust in yourself, trust in the messages you're getting, trust in yourself. And they're real strong with it again, is like trusting in the spirit messages you're getting and stop denying the truth of them. Stop trying to run away from them. Every time you pull away from something, you know, ask yourself why. What are you afraid of that you know? Like what you know, why are you afraid of it? What's the fear? What's holding you back? We get the divine masculine and spiritual guidance. And this just kind of feels like, I don't like the last minute message. It feels like, I get that feeling like the divine masculine is connecting to source more. And I've been getting that feeling for like a few months now. I felt like, what was it? June 16th last year, Spirit told me that there's going to be a shift with the masculines. Very specifically, they gave me that date, June 16th. And yeah, we're in 2023, 2022. And I feel like a lot of them had like another layer of awakening. I feel like we have multiple layers of awakening. We just don't always have conscious awareness to the layers of awakening, but it's almost like they had some type of shift that happened to help them with opening themselves up even more and feeling energy more and feeling their connections, like their energetic connections to people too. And I feel like this relates to the intuition card. They're learning how to like connect to it more and trust it more. But it just feels like they're kind of going through like a little bit of conflict and struggle with some of the things that they've been taught, like what to trust and what to feel safe with and what not to trust and what not to feel safe with. And it feels like a lot of them have, this like conflict of actually surrendering to and trusting what they know. But I keep getting like almost like spirits like whispering in their ear and saying stuff, like they're giving them messages and they're trying to show them stuff through either like dreams or they're trying to show them stuff through like signs. But that's, they said energy coding, but I forgot what word they said with it. Not downloads. What the hell did they say? I can't think of it now. That's fine. If I was supposed to think of it, I would have said it. They're showing them signs about stuff. They're showing them different things like, hold on. They're showing them like little epiphanies in random times. So some of it's when they're dreaming, some of it's when they're calming their mind and they're like more open to the energy, meditation, different times, and they're hearing songs, they're getting like numbers, they're getting names, I get a lot of them are getting songs, but it feels like they're hearing words too. Like they're getting specific, maybe animals too, but they're getting specific words. Like they're just being whispered specific words to kind of like trigger them with something that they're needing to heal. So if you are a masculine or you're getting energy like that, it is spirit. Like they're just like, this is confirmation and validation. And they might just give you like one word, like orange. And like, it might not make sense to you, but they're trying to get you accustomed to hearing them and hearing the difference between your thought and them and feeling them. But it definitely feels like they have some spirit guides coming around, and it feels like some of their spirit team is specifically showing them numbers, very specifically showing them numbers to like, just like, why can I not get the word y'all are trying to show me? Like, okay, I can't think of the fucking word. Like they keep showing it to me in a vision and I just can't connect the word to it. If I was supposed to, I would. But anyway, so they're getting like the messages and signs the way they're supposed to help them to understand stuff and connect to spirit more, and helping them to see the synchronicities. That's the word I was looking for. The synchronicities of stuff. They're showing them how things are synchronized, like their emotions, their traumas, things that they're connecting to. Then they're seeing spirit messages being guided to them, or they're talking to people that are mirroring somebody else that is spiritually connected to them, and they're showing them in that way. They might be seeing like birthdays, they might be seeing significant dates and times, names, songs, all that stuff. So yeah, feels like a good thing though. Feels like they're definitely helping spirit, like their spirit team's definitely connecting to them to help them get through this rough period, because a lot of the masculines are releasing conditioning either internally through their energy or outwardly saying things to people to help them to transition to. We're going through like a big collective shift with this. So anyway, okay, well, I hope that this helps. I hope you guys all have an awesome night.